What's going on, everybody? Sausage here. Have you ever taken a job that feels too perfect? I'm talking sunshine, routine work, friendly guests, and the creeping feeling that something is very wrong? Pizza at Resort 64 is a short, atmospheric horror experience about routine, isolation, and realizing your vacation job might not be what it seems. So let's talk about what this game actually is and whether it's worth your time. So, the story. It's almost cheesy, but for the most part it works. I'll try to avoid pizza puns, but no promises. Pizza at Resort 64 is a first-person narrative experience divided into 7 in-game days. You are hired as a temporary pizza chef at a secluded tropical resort. Your job is pretty simple. Take orders from guests, prepare the pizzas as they asked for them, and then serve them their pizzas once they're done. During the day, all activity takes place in the pizzeria, but at night, employees are allowed to explore restricted or lesser-known areas of the island, with one of these locations being a discreet building hidden among artificial palm trees. As the week progresses, the environment begins to feel unnaturally organized, guest behavior subtly changes, and the routine starts to feel increasingly unsettling. Moving on to the gameplay, it's divided into daytime and nighttime segments, and during the day, like I said, you take orders and then you make those pizzas and then you give them to the guests. Now, I guess technically you can make quite a few different types of pizzas, but you have a recipe book with only 4 pizza recipes in there, so it's not too complicated, and the pizza assembly mechanic primarily serves as a means for narrative delivery. After each work shift, the player can then go explore parts of the island at night, primarily the resort's shooting range. As for the graphics and art, Pizza at Resort 64 has a strong PS1 vibe, and while I like the vibe, the island just feels a little empty, sorta like a pizza without cheese. Some people order pizza without cheese. I don't understand why somebody would do that, but let's move on. The visuals feature low poly environments and simple textures, and it's all set on a tropical beach. Lastly, let's talk about the value or the amount of time you'll get out of this game. Pizza at Resort 64 costs $3 US. I got about 45 minutes of gameplay out of it, and I earned 7 of the achievements, so basically what I'm saying is that you could order yourself a pizza and probably finish this game 100% before it even arrives at your house. It's designed to be a short, focused narrative experience intended to be completed in a single session. So, with all of that said, Pizza at Resort 64 earns a rating of 6.3 sausages out of 10. The story mostly works, even if it leans into being a little cheesy at times. It's clear enough to follow, but vague enough that interpretations vary. By the end, I wasn't entirely sure what happened. Was it an old god, a demon, hallucinations, or mental illness, or D, all of the above? I don't really know. It's not that I didn't like it, but it didn't fully land for me either. The pizza making mechanics felt more like a dialogue delivery system rather than any real gameplay, and making mistakes doesn't meaningfully affect any outcomes as far as I know. My biggest critique is that the nighttime exploration felt extremely limited. I was under the impression that I could explore the island, but the exploration is not even narrow, it's basically non-existent. What I mean was that I'm disappointed that there weren't more locations to discover. Basically, it's your hotel room, the pizza shop, the shooting range, and then the small beach where you can traverse to the different areas. That's pretty much it. Also, the gun mechanics at the shooting range, it felt underbaked, kind of like the doughy center of a pizza that's been taken out of the oven a little too soon. What I mean is that the crosshairs for aiming aren't really accurate, and it depends more on how close you are to your target rather than having proper aim. The aiming felt inconsistent, and it felt more distance-based rather than skill-based. I'm not saying that you should be a pro FPS player to play this game, but it could have used a little more TLC, if you know what I mean. Visually, I really like the PS1 aesthetic, however, the limited environments and the assets made the island feel a little bit empty. But $3 for 45 minutes isn't bad, but it's not great either. Personally, I would recommend waiting for a 25 to 50% sale. So, Pizza at Resort 64 succeeds more as an atmosphere piece rather than a traditional horror game. It's quiet, it's strange, and it's intentionally uncomfortable. The story is intriguing, even if it doesn't fully commit. The gameplay is simple, and sometimes too minimal. The retro presentation works, but the world feels underutilized. So if you like short, symbolic horror experience, there's something here, but just know that going into this, it's all about the mood and not the mechanics or the scares. If you understood the story better than I did, please leave a comment below. I'm genuinely curious to see how you interpreted it. And that's my review of Pizza at Resort 64. If you got this far, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a little comment below, but if not, just know that I appreciate your viewership nonetheless. I also stream on Twitch occasionally. I have a Discord for both content creators and casual viewers alike, and I'm a Steam curator, so consider following me on all of those platforms as well. I'll leave a link to everything in the description below. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut my review here. Mahoney out.